Hello, this is Cynthia in the TLC, and this video tutorial will cover the remaining topics in this advanced Grade Center TLC module. So we'll be looking at how to create smart views, how to use the grading color codes, and how to create a grading schema. Alright, so let's start with using the grading color codes. So you can see that there are some grades in here. There's a total column. The grades aren't weighted in this course. And so to access the color codes, we're going to click Manage from the toolbar at the top here, Manage, and go to Grading Color Codes. First thing you want to remember is this top option, Enable Grading Color Codes. If you don't check this, then whatever you configure in the rest of the options won't display in the Grade Center. So there are three ways that you could use colors for the different status of in progress, needs grading, or exempt. So say, for example, anything that needed grading, you want to mark it in a certain color. Okay, so I'm just clicking a swatch and then click Apply. Okay, and to access that, I just clicked either the arrow here or just anywhere in this box will open the color options. Alright, so that's all I want to do there, but then I want to add some colors for different grade ranges. So I'm just going to click Add Criteria, and I'm going to say anything between 70 and 80% I want to be aware of. It could be some students are starting to have some trouble, so I'm going to click a color for that one and click Apply. And then I want to say anything below or less than 70%. I want to really be aware of that, so I'm going to choose something that's a little bit garish here. So Apply. Alright, so and you can see if you try really dark colors, it's going to kind of wash out the grade that you've entered, so you don't want to get too dark, but you can experiment with that. Alright, so I've enabled grading color codes. I've chosen the color for needs grading, and I've chosen two different colors for anything on the lower end of my grading scale. Right? Just click Submit. And so right away that will display in your Grade Center. So it looks like I have one item that needs grading, and of course you can, from the control panel, you can go directly to needs grading, but here again you could just see at a glance what needs grading. Alright, and so there are several things that are below 70, so you know you need to address that with the student. Alright, so that's how to use the color coding. Alright, now let's look at the Smart View. And for the purposes of this video, I just hid the navigation menu, so I'm going to open that up again. And if you don't know that, that's just this bar in between the navigation menu and the viewing area. If you click it, it will close the menu, and just click it again to open it. Alright, anyway, so down in the control panel, if you just click on the words Grade Center or click the arrow on the left side of the Grade Center, there's a pull-down menu that displays anything that needs grading, the full Grade Center, assignments, and tests. So these assignments and tests, that's a smart view. Anything marked within the category as assignments is going to be pulled up when I click assignments, and the same goes for tests. Okay, so let's look at creating another smart view. So again, we're just going to click the Manage button. I'm going to close this just to give us some more real estate. Manage, and then we'll go to Smart Views. So there are several different ways. There are all of these by default. You could choose any of these tools to show a smart view, but you'll notice that just the assignments and the tests have a green star under Add as Favorites, and that's why they show up under the Grade Center link in the control panel. Alright, so say you use discussion boards, and again you want to be able to just access those quickly in the Grade Center, you could just click this Add as Favorite, and that will again be added to the list under there. So these are default categories that Blackboard creates for you, but you can create your own smart view. So say, for example, you're co-teaching a course, as in nursing, where sometimes there's three instructors teaching a clinical course, or they're managing several students. So say we wanted to do that. So I'm just going to say this is, Cynthia's group. All right, and then I can say add to my favorites, so I can quickly access that from the Grade Center link in the control panel. And so this is going to be by user. My category is going to be by user. So I can just choose the students that I want. And then if I could just say, do I want to see all the columns for those students or just, a few, or that's up to me, okay? But I'm just going to choose all columns, right? And then click submit. Okay, so now you can see Cynthia's group has a green favorite, so let's open up that navigation menu area. And again, if we go to the Grade Center, you can see now that there's Cynthia's group. So by clicking that, I'm only going to see those particular students, all the columns, grading columns for those particular students. All right, so that's how Smart Views work, and that can be very handy, and I know the nursing program really likes that capability. All right, so we've covered color coding and Smart Views, and the last thing we're going to cover is the grading schema. And if you'll notice, so I'm going to just edit the column information for one of these assessments. And by default, the primary display is score. But if you've ever looked, the options here are letters, so it could be displayed as a letter grade, as a percentage, as a text, or complete, incomplete. Well, this letter grade is related to a particular grading schema that Blackboard provides, and that schema is called letter. Okay, so that you can see it, know at a glance how to access that. All right, so let's take a look at what that means. Okay, so again, we're going to go to Manage, and we're going to go to Grading Schemas. All right, so here's the default schema that Blackboard provides for you, and so let's take a look at how that's set up. So I just clicked Edit from the contextual menu, and you can see that Blackboard has determined that in their grading schema, anything between 94 and 100 is an A, there's no A+. Anything that's between 90 and 94 is an A-, and so on and so on. But BTC's grading schema may be a little bit different from what Blackboard has displayed there. So we're just going to create a new grading schema so that we can just go through how to do that. So we're going to click Create Grading Schema. So we're just going to call this grading schema BTC. All right, and now what I'm putting in here isn't necessarily BTC's policies, so check with your program always to make sure that you're using the correct grading schema for your program, right? But we're just going to go through this as an exercise. Okay, so here we're going to say anything between 93 and 100 is an A. We're going to just click this arrow on the right side that it's for inserting rows. Okay, so 93 to 100 is an A. 90 to, that's more than 90 but less than 93, is going to be a B+. All right, anything from 85 to 90, add row. 85 to 90 is a B. All right, so I've added the rest of the parameters for this particular grading schema. And notice as you enter the parameter on the left, will calculate as just filled in the midpoint between your range. Okay, so this means that if you manually entered any of these letter grades, it will be calculated as the midpoint for that particular letter grade. All right, so when you've finished that, just click Submit. And then we're going to go back to the Grade Center and add the column information for the total grade and use this new grading schema. So you'll notice that the current total grade is displayed as a percentage. Okay, so that's what we're going to change to use the new grading schema that we created. So I'm clicking the arrow and choosing Edit Column Information. And so under primary display, this is where we change that. So I click the arrow and you can see our new schema at the bottom. So we'll click that, BTC schema, then just click Submit. And that will automatically rearrange the display of the grades to the letter grade according to the schema we created. All right, so that's how to create a grading schema. So in this video we've covered using color coding to give accents to particular grading levels. We've created smart views to quickly access certain pieces of information in the grade center, and then lastly we created a grading schema to reflect BTC's policy or your department's policy for grading. All right, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact the TLC. Thank you.